Get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise to the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
The day I met Bullhorn Betty and Jonathan Lee Ridges, they were protesting in front of the Laundrie's home. I began to document them, and little did I know, the three of us would spend the next few months traveling together. Nothing scares us, even if it means crossing a freezing cold river and getting wet. We put our lives in danger because we want to find answers. It gives us purpose, even if it means going undercover to get those answers, or visiting the scene of a crime and paying our respects. Searching for the truth isn't easy. It gets you out of your comfort zone and makes you see things in a different perspective. And it's this perspective that we want the world to see. At the end of the day, we fight for justice. We fight for those who don't have a voice. We fight for those who were silenced. Our next case, we search for Paula Miranda. She was last seen swimming in this river. Here's our Paula's family. Found 2 footprints they believe belonged to her. She left her phone and keys in her car. Her sister tells us that's extremely unusual for her to do that. Stay tuned as we venture deep into Wekiwa Springs State Park to help find her.
need to hear this, but let me put this out here. Stop sparing folks. Hello, somebody. Stop sparing folks. Nobody cared when your feelings was hurt. Nobody cared when you was pacing the floor. Nobody cared when you was sliding down the wall. Nobody cared when you was standing over there with a face full of tears. You had to suck it up, buttercup. But then when it come to other folk feelings, here you are, want to tiptoe around it, want to avoid the elephant in the room. I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to disturb the peace. Stop sparing folk. Ain't nobody spare you when it was your turn. Give it to them real. Give it to them raw. Give it to them uncut and uncensored. This is exactly what it is. This way you had me messed up at. Huh. Yeah. I ain't playing with nobody this season, baby.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Happy Friday, guys. I'm not sure about you, but I don't think I've ever been accused of sparing folks their feelings. I'm not sure about you, but just in case, we have to throw the disclaimers out there, right? Our intro is getting a little longer and longer. I almost want to do my ass commercial. Longest intro. Well, you guys can sit there and listen to and watch the little thing go across the thing, timing down and everything, or you guys can listen to music and have a little fun while I'm getting prepared to go live. It's up to you. It's TGIF, all TGIF. You should. Why not? We got some time. We got some time to kill. We're just gonna be talking about Sami, Like you're going to be building the case. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to build the case against Sami. But until then, let's see what's going on YouTube. Andrea, aka Bullhorn Betty here. Look what I found. It looks like a lot of people on YouTube. Right here. Right here. This is a real ass right here. Like many people on YouTube. All you need to do is show an asshole a little love. Right? Tell him. What you need to do? Huh? What you need to do? Oh, too many assholes on YouTube. Say it. Say it with me, baby. Say there's just too many people. Too many people on YouTube that look like you, huh? So the next time you want to be an ass, maybe you should come out here and hang out with the ass. Just saying. You want to be a jackass? There's your brother. Peace out. Bullhorn Betty style. And there you have it, folks. Let's get on with the show, shall we? I'm having a lot of fun this Friday. What do you do? So good morning, everybody. As many of you guys know, we've been we've been following the Kiely Rodni case for, some time. Since August 10th. August 10th, Bullhorn Betty has been following this case out of Northern California and Truckee, California. A lot of things have happened. A lot of stuff was going on. Bullhorn Betty, I can admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. I was absolutely wrong. Right? We came out and I'm like, guys, come on, stay away from the kids. There's not a lot of evidence about this, right? We're team accident. Nothing to see over here. This is a young girl that went to a party, drank, clearly got behind a wheel of a car and, they searched the waters. She's not there. She must have gotten to an accident on the way home, or she went the wrong direction. Or we knew that there was a mass exit at 12:30 early on in this case. Maybe they went to an after party, right? Maybe they went to an after party. Where did she go? Many of us scratched our head. Where did she go? We had kicked up enough stuff on YouTube that many people started begging Adventures with Purpose to go out there and use their equipment in the water. People it's not that they didn't believe that law enforcement did their job. They just knew law enforcement was concentrated on another area, and there was many water bodies around there, and she's missing with her vehicle. That's pretty much the criteria, right? For Adventures with Purpose. You need to be missing with your car. You need to have something a little bit bigger than yourself with you, So we started, going down this avenue of what could have possibly happened at Prosser. And then early on, and this was about the same day that, Bullhorn Betty started following this. I mean, I started following August 9th, but I got to go look and see when I actually started, when I ran with the first story. I don't remember. We'll look that up. And then this interview comes out, right? This is the interview with Tony Dodge. Many of you guys out there know him as the Staples Store, right? Thank you, Ryan Upchurch. So the Staples Store, right? He's Staples. And we scratched our head and was like, why would this girl go on this channel, which is, pretty small in nature. I shouldn't say small. I mean, what does he have on here? Let's see how many followers. Oh, this is on Ictamel. So I don't know. Let's go over to Tony Dodge's page real quick. Let's see what we got here. But, for the most part, from what I hear, is maybe a mid-sized channel. I mean, I think he's probably got, is he up to 10,000? I don't know. But he's got 11,000. So he's a mid-sized channel on here. He's not like, a couple thousand or under. So that would be what I classified as a small channel. He's over 10,000. So I would say he's a mid-sized channel. I mean, for lack of better words. So I never understood, she would have had, something like Ictamel, right? The one that we just had up here first, would have been more in line with somebody I would think that she would want to go on and have a conversation about, her friend. But this was just an odd, interview. But this was the first interview that had come out, and everybody, hey, Love Bug, I miss you. I miss you. I don't know what else to say. I miss you. I haven't seen you in here. I'm sure you've been in here. It's just been so insane in here that I haven't seen anybody. I haven't even seen my mods, to be honest with you. So hi, mods. I love you. Thank you for doing such a great job, by the way. Because we are now officially over 500 people in the chat. By the way, 522 people that are in the chat. Please go out and like this video. Come back in here and give me a thumbs up in the chat to let me know that you said thank you to me and my mods, because my mods work hard too. Whether you like Bullhorn Betty or not, you got to admit the mods work wonderful. I miss you too, Bullhorn. Aw, thank you. I feel so special. But anyways, this video comes out and everybody lost their crap. Remember that? Everybody from this video on, when she came on this particular interview, it was done for her. She did not pass the mustard on the streets of YouTube, right? She did not pass the mustard on the streets of YouTube. YouTube took this and literally, I think by the time this video was done, people were calling foul. People were saying, absolutely not. Hey, Cotton Candy, I see you. Hey, Bojangles. By the way, let me just go through here just to say hi to everybody, because people were in here early this morning, and I should at least say hi to you guys. I should at least say hi to you guys, right? You guys that have been here for a little. No, just joking. GG for Life, ZZ, nice to see you. Audrey, Denise, Barbara G. Bullhorn Betty is present. Carissa, it's nice to see you. Jackie Chase, yeah, I'm able to do this. Emma, peace, love, and justice. Connie, Little Dove, and I'm going to say one more, and it's going to be Alicia. Good morning. Good morning, all. So everybody else, I see you, Crazy Nurse, as well. Everybody else, Miss Robin. Let me go through my mods. Miss Robin. I am Team Summer. Good morning. But I know I haven't been able to tell you guys personally good morning like we're accustomed to doing on here. So I just want to give a blanket good morning as things get a little tighter and tighter, on timing and things of that nature. So, but I know I see you guys are here. I see you guys coming in, and I just want to tell you guys good morning. So it's nice to see you. But people on YouTube said, no way, this chick, there's something wrong with her. How many people, we've got almost 600 people in the chat right now. How many people at the beginning, when they heard this interview, was the one of the first ones that says, something's not right here? Put a 1 in the chat if you were one of them, because I was a number 2. I was a number 2. I over-explained and justified their actions. I justified their actions. So 1, if you knew something stunk to high heaven, and 2, if you were like Bullhorn Betty and said these kids had nothing to do with it. Come on, 2s, help Bullhorn Betty out. I can't be standing out here alone. Throw me a life jacket, folks. I haven't seen one. I got one. Here it is. I saw it. I got some 2s. Thank you for my life jackets. One said, where was it? I was a 2 at first. So was I. So that's a 2. So we have a lot of smarter people. We got a lot of smarter people in Bullhorn Betty's chat than Bullhorn Betty. I can tell you that. So kudos to, thank you, Crystal. So kudos to you guys that saw through this. I was as many. Oh, thank you, Angela. Thank you so much. So I was one of those people that had something similar happen to me. I'm laughing so hard and crying. So give me a second. Let me clean up, shall we? So, Susanna. Just kidding. Don't want to leave you alone. Some people came out here and helped Bullhorn Betty out. You can't leave me out there alone on a number 2. Come on. Boo. Right. But seriously, I came out, many of you, if you guys have been with me, I know I've got a lot of new subscribers to this channel. Thank you, by the way. Thank you for the love and support. But a lot of people have been following me from the beginning, and I talked about my personal experience with something similar like this, where my friends went out to, again, a party in a rural area. It was on Rye Road, which is our area. It's no longer there. The developers got a hold of it, and it's no longer Rye Road. I mean, it's named Rye Road, but it's not the same place we grew up, where you could swing from trees and fall into canals and stuff like that, But they were coming back. They had been drinking, and one of my friends was driving and wrecked the car into a tree, and it killed another one of my friends. And so it was very hard, but I did recall that event. I didn't think there was nothing nefarious. I didn't think friends did this or that. This was a clear cut. My friend was entirely too intoxicated to be driving, and he was with his best friend. So he has lifelong scars that not only was he responsible for this and had to spend 10 years of his life in jail over it, he also has to deal with for the rest of his life knowing that he's the reason why his best friend is no longer here. So it was very hard on us, as teenagers that knew them, that hung out with them, and then also the community at large, losing one of us. So I just kind of had my own bias because of my own experience, and it really hindered me in this particular investigation. And again, I always try to stay objective and always stay arm's length away from people involved in cases. But this particular case, I gave way too many benefits of the doubt in this, and many of my subscribers, including mods, just totally, that is a true statement right there. That is a true statement. He watched me grow from a coffee bean to a full cup of coffee. Maybe I should say a half cup of coffee. We'll give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Sorry, a little goofy this morning. So, anyways, I just gave them the benefit of the doubt. I explained, people were saying their statements were inconsistent. I'm sitting there saying, well, listen, folks, I mean, if they were parroting each other, I would have a problem with that. Teens, drinking, forgetting stuff, the stuff not making all kinds of sense, them being inconsistent. I was giving them passes saying it was alcohol. They were on drugs out there. It was alcohol. I'm sure they were confused, blah, 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 right? And you guys are saying, Betty, she's no. Look, she's something's not right with Sami. Something's not right with Sami. Took me a minute to get there. Well, I'm here, right? I'm here. We have made this full circle from team accident. At least we gave the case its rightful due, right? We went over all the possibilities. I think there's nothing the haters could say. I think I've been more fair with this case than just about any case because I hadn't been out there. I haven't done really any fact-finding due diligence, and I'm using other people's work. Think about it. I mean, even Google, that's somebody else's work. What they're telling me on Google is somebody else's research. It's not mine. So I'm relying on all this stuff to be factual. I'm relying on all this stuff, to try to make heads or tails of it. And then we got law enforcement and adventures with purpose, right? They come in and they find the car, right where all these law enforcement agents, FBI agents are working. And here this YouTuber team comes in and finds the car. What the hell? Now we're really looking at Sami. It's like, now we're looking at all of them. You guys are all guilty. Well, where's the handcuffs? Just take them all in, throw them in jail, throw them under the jail. They're all guilty, right? So, I mean, Adventures with Purpose, just like, they blew our ever-loving minds. Let's be honest. Everybody's bitching about them putting it on membership and the clickbait and stuff. But come on. They found a car where the FBI and 14 other law enforcement agencies were just at, and then they find the car in 30 minutes. Like, mind blown. Yeah, I think people are gonna subscribe to them and watch more mind-blowing footage, right? And they didn't, I mean, they came through. Like, they did not fail us with the presentation of their, like, total mind blown. They found the car. Now we're finding out Kiely Rodni is literally in the hatch of her car. YouTube streets go wild, right? We are just on this. It's nuts. Now we got the speculation. Oh my gosh, who did it, right? Got to be Sami. It's got to be Jagger. It's got to be the car over Boca Reservoir. We don't know what the hell. But the one thing we all agree, right? Doesn't matter what pieces of puzzles go where. But I think the one thing we are all finally agreeing with is Sami. Like, I don't think any of us, we're not fighting over Sami. We think she did something. She had something in it. Now we're going back and finding out what in the hell did she do, right? We have the bulletins of red flags that we feel that just doesn't make sense, and we're going over them. Still got all the paperwork right here, right? This is everything we've been going through. Let's talk about these key points, these key elements. How many people believe? And I know we got almost 800 people in here right now. How many of us truly believe Sami is involved in this some way? Whether she, whatever she did, fighting, accident, something more nefarious, anything. How many people believe that Sami, of all people in this entire thing, not Jagger, not Kate, not Mags, but Sami, how many people already started to put ones in? How many people believe Sami is involved somehow? Put a 1 in the chat. Come on, guys. You got to let me finish the question. What if I flipped it on you, right? What if I said it was a number 2? You guys are already throwing 1s in there. So, What does it say? Sami, 100% guilty. People are saying Kiely's mom is a strange. Yes. We're not going to go into mom. We're going to give mom a little break here and let her get her stuff together. You know, she's going through a lot. It's mom. Let mom get her shit together, right? So all the way back, yeah. So, you know, I think no matter what side, I mean, I got to imagine, I mean, there's a lot of ones in here. I have to imagine that at least a few people that threw the ones in here doesn't like Bullhorn Betty, right? So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, the one thing that even the people that we don't even like or, you know, collaborate, whatever, I still believe that we're all on the same page, whether we like each other or not, that we feel Sami is a part of this. So I'm sitting here scratching my head and saying, you know what? I've watched a lot. We've watched this interview. We've watched other interviews. Then we got Plunder. You know, Plunder, I'm not going to really play her stuff, but we got Plunder too. Plunder's great. I like her. This is the one I was talking about yesterday, right? This is the one I was talking about yesterday, where where Sami just kind of, she's got it on film. And I did post the link to this video in the description of this live right now. So if you guys want to go watch this video in its entirety, please do. But this is Plunder. She put this out, I think like 3 or 4 days ago. And basically what she was saying is that Sami was at this press conference and basically just goes up and grabs the mic and starts talking about the teen-to-teen meetings and how the parents need to leave. But she did it before the press conference started and after the press conference ended. That's why no other news organization really had this. Apparently Plunder. Now, if I watched this yesterday, so I'm going off of 24-hour memory here. So please forgive me if I say the wrong media outlet. I believe it was the Truckee one, the Truckee, the local one that was set up, and they were, I guess they were rolling, even though they didn't make it public until later. I don't know how she got a hold of this footage. So it must have been released somewhere, or she requested it from them. I don't know how, you know, all that worked with her and how she got this, but either way, it did show Sami kind of interjecting herself right then and there into the scene, wanting to set up these peer-to-peer meetings, wanting to get these kids by themselves. And it makes me wonder, it goes back to what I said, because I didn't have this information at the time I made my assessment, when I specifically said that I thought Sami was very smart. Everybody kept saying, I can't believe if her parents were attorneys, why they would let her go out there, because she had no reason to be in Kiely's car, right? And the more Jane Does and John Does are coming out, we're finding out that Kiely and her weren't even hanging out at the freaking party. And so this woman, this girl that I'm going to call her a woman because she's 18 years old. So I don't want to hear people telling me I'm picking on, you know, underage kids, because I don't do that here. And I've actually went out of my way to protect the underage kids, whether I thought that they had a hand in this or not. But Sami she didn't ride to Kiely in that car. She was never planning on leaving with Kiely in that car. She was never supposed to be in that car, only according to Sami. And that is after Kiely has disappeared, talks about how she asked Kiely for a ride because she was not ready to leave the big, bad, scary party just yet. She was not scared enough that she had to stay there longer, and Kiely was her ride. What me looking at this with all of this new information, I am looking at this and brought this to you guys publicly and said, I thought it was very smart, because now she has explained why her DNA and her fingerprints are in Kiely's car. And she was able to talk to witnesses at the party to find out what they knew through these teen-to-teen meetings. And she was able to collect all the evidence that she needs to defend herself. And law enforcement just said, okay, that sounds like a great idea, Sami. That sounds like a great idea. Belinda, I have not conclusively confirmed that the girl was, in fact, in an undressed manner. We've heard that through rumors, and I can say that, you know, it is alleged that she was not dressed or clothed. I can't confirm that because, you know, I've slowed down the video. I've tried to clear the image up myself. I've seen other people's images of her cleaned up. And quite frankly, I personally could not tell whether or not she was wearing or not wearing anything. So that's just me personally. I'm not sure if somebody else has seen a different photo, but you know, we don't know if she had clothes on or not. Just rumors at this point. That's what I thought, Justice. Thank you for clarifying that, because that's kind of what I'm getting at too. Is that, you know, also we have to keep in mind. I'm not saying that these rumors aren't legit by any stretch of the imagination, because we know some rumors are legit, right? We heard that there was the possibility of her being tied up in the back hatch of that car. Remember that rumor that went around of her being tied up? We naturally thought she was bound. We never once thought about a stow and go strap strapping her in. You know, like we were getting mixed back. Did that mean that it was rumor? No, it means that we misinterpreted the rumor to mean she was tied up, as in bound, not strapped. So the rumor is potentially accurate. I'm just saying that I cannot corroborate it, and I can't say that it's accurate without, you know, vetting the information. I can't vet it. So it's possible it's true. So I'm letting you guys know that it's possible. But at this point, it is pure speculation and rumor until we get more information. Many of you know, if you guys were here yesterday, we are on the list. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly go over some points. I want to bring people up. We're going to open the chat up, and I want to get a pencil and paper out, and we're going to start building this case against Sami, because I want to know exactly what you guys watch this stuff. You guys probably have more information than I do. Let's more coffee. I think if I have any more coffee, which I'm drinking more, I'm gonna bust. Oh my Lord. I might need somebody to come up here and take over the channel for a few seconds. So I can go potty. No, I'm just joking. But the red flags. So one, pointing out the belt Kiely wore when interviewed, then reference the tow truck driver seatbelt belt on her pants. Question the TDD was asked. The phone call 3 minutes after the phone last pinged. We have never gotten clarification on that yet. She drank out of the same container and ingested the same things. We now know that most likely is 100% false, because we heard from multiple people at that party that Kiely and Sami were not seen together. That is much different than the story Sami painted for all of us about them being basically glued to the hip through the entire party, except for a few small occasions when they went over here, went over there, but they always found each other. Remember that story? Lie. Last person to contact Kiely or in contact with Kiely posted post phone going cold or being powered down or dying, whatever it may be. The last known ping. So we find that pretty odd. Denial of being found in Prosser. Remember when she was found, she denied it immediately. But at the time, it was all coming out that that they were at Donner Lake. Remember when we first heard that they found her, the news came out. I think the Daily Mail and some other news organization immediately came out with a story, but they plugged in the wrong lake. They kept saying Donner Lake, and they weren't at Donner Lake. They were at Prosser, only 300 yards from where she was last seen. So, I have to think that Sami knew that it was being referenced that she was found at Donner Lake, and she's coming out to the public saying, "Oh, that's a lie. She was definitely not found," as if she knew. But don't forget, every news organization kept tagging Donner Lake when this statement was made. So how would she know? Very odd, very odd. So being in the forefront, the search, the interviews, which we've talked about extensively, the teen-to-teen meetings, the collecting of evidence, videos, and photos, wanting all the information to send to her so she can filter it to law enforcement. We also had several party photos that were leaked that weren't even from that party. And there was Sami's Venmo, but that Venmo was for a different Sami. Sami mentions that this year there was no argument about who won the fight and the disagreements. Be honest with you, that I found from the interviews we're having that actually might be accurate. That these fights were truly friendly fights. Is this something that these country folks do? It's just part of their coming uppins, and that that there were no hostility or hostile thoughts toward each other. It was truly friendly fights. That's what we're hearing from a lot of people. Does that mean it's true? No, that's just what they're telling us. So, B Betty fan is telling you guys we need to get the likes up. 500 more. We need some more. Don't forget to put your thumbs up whenever you guys thumb up this segment. Wanting to control the narrative and the information. She surely did come out, right? Very powerfully, very forcefully. First thing, one of the first people that came out and spoke about this whole entire, case, wanted to drive the narrative. But as soon as she realized Kiely was found, we didn't hear a peep. Hey, Cher. Is Sharon here? Hey, love. I do see you. Hi, love bug. Hope you're doing well. But then she just goes silent. We hear no more from her. What? Cat got your tongue, Sami? I mean, Lord have mercy. We couldn't shut your mouth. And now we ain't hearing from you. We find out you leave the state with your parents. But hey, it doesn't really matter now. I mean, you have all the witness testimony, all the evidence, right? You were able to collect all that. You were able to try to weasel your way as to why you were in Kiely's car to begin with. But nobody saw you hanging out with her. I mean, I'm really confused. What else do we have? The possibly ex, the Nate. That Nate doesn't appear to be the same Nate. This is stuff that we were working on. So we've got a lot of stuff. Sami made mentions of the fight. So she was fighting with somebody. Somebody was bullying her. She also mentions that Kiely was her best friend. We're finding out from multiple sources that is just categorically denied, right? They were party associates or something to that effect. And in this party, apparently weren't really hanging out that much. So either way, there's my red flags that were actually helped prepared by Guidance in Life with TLC. If you guys haven't subbed up to her channel, please do. So what say you? Let's build the case against Sami today. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link. If you guys want to come up, I'm going to let you guys collect your thoughts for just a moment. We're going to play a song, and then we are going to be on go. I want to hear you guys' thoughts about this because we have to build this case. I've got a pad and paper right here with me, and we're going to build the case. Why do we think Sami's involved? Because there's something that hit home to all of us, and it's not just the inconsistent statements. It's a bunch of different things. It's from her behavior to this. I want to know what it is for you. What seals the deal for you that Sami is involved? What seals the deal for you? So let me go ahead and put this in. Hey, Derry, hold on. Let me just pin this to the top. All right, Terry, I'm bringing you forward.
Thank you. Hey,
how are you?
Good. How are you?
Great. So, what was it for you?
Oh boy.
I know, right?
From the beginning, she just didn't make sense.
Yeah.
She was too much into it. Putting too much information out there. She was just, yeah.
So now that we kind of have full circle here,
Mm-hmm.
and do you, how many, I guess I'm going to ask you this, but I'm also going to ask the chat to put a 1 in there. How many agree with me that, maybe this whole her coming out had more to do with her covering her ass than anything, and we were just too blind at the time to see it? What do you think about that?
I agree. I think a lot of it had to do with her feeding Kiely alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
and she felt responsible. And I think there's chatter out there that, well, I don't know how true it is, but chatter that she hired an attorney or whatever.
Yep.
And with
Sheriff, come on up. If you got a list, come on up.
with law enforcement coming out and clearing Jaeger only, didn't clear anybody else. And I think they're waiting on toxicology, because if she does have alcohol in her system, they'll come after Kiely, or I'm sorry, after Sami.
But there's been some allegations that people believe that maybe mom purchased it.
True. Yeah, I've heard that too.
You know, that would be a little wild, but you know, both could be responsible, right? Because I mean, at the end of the day, Sami was drinking with her at the party. She was drinking with an underage child.
Yes.
And you know, she's going to have to answer for that, even if mom purchased it. That was her part.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and bring Heidi up as well. Heidi, if you want to stay on the stream, you can, or with your camera, you can. I'm going to go ahead and bring you up. So Heidi, give just a second. I want to let Terry finish her comment, but I just didn't want you sitting in the back.
So no, I think that's why they're waiting on toxicology. I think that's why they're not saying whether it's an accident or foul play. The other thing that I just wanted, and I don't want to go off topic, but I'm sitting here watching the press conference from August 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
Did anybody else notice that they said they did not have dive teams in Prosser?
God.
No, because we've had photos and videos of them saying multiple times that there was, you know, and we even have photos of a police boat with motor, a large boat motor, right there, almost literally above Kiely's car.
That was Donner.
That was Donner?
Yeah. If you go back, I am looking at the press. I'm sorry, I'm going off topic.
That's okay. That's okay.
No.
Go with that. I'm listening, but I'm going to mute my.
Sure. At the August 22nd press conference, if you pull up the video and you go to, I'm at 11:56 right now. They were specifically asked about divers at Prosser, and I'm not sure what the one guy's name is, comes up and says they've had dive teams in, not necessarily at Prosser, but at other areas. Did anybody else catch that?
And I realized I was still muted. I'm sorry about that. I've got the actual transcript of that actual meeting. Give me just a second. I just pulled the transcript up. Where is it? I know I've got it here somewhere. Hold on a second. Let me turn my camera back on.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to go off topic. I just thought.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. Hey, we can talk about whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, the show really kind of belongs to the people. So we'll go wherever the conversation leads. But that's interesting. And I don't know why I can't get, there we go. I can't get out of there. But I've got that transcript. I was just reading it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got to be on one of my, it's probably on this one here.
Did he come up?
I can't find it. I'll have to look for it. But I have the actual, I downloaded maybe I downloaded it. Let's see if I got it in my finder. But I've got this transcript downloaded. At least I thought I downloaded it. Maybe I didn't. But it was kind of cool. There it is. Press conference, August. I do have it. Here it is. So here's do we know what minutes and stuff? And we'll actually read the words. Right off of it.
I am looking at, and it's so hard to tell. Let me see. Where are you? If you go to about 12:20. Go about 12:22.
12.
I'm not sure where the question came in. I've got it on my other computer.
Josh Eller said, before Adventures for Purpose went out there this weekend, when was the last time we had a swimmer or dive team from you or any other the 6 agent out there searching that area?
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Eller said, I defer back to Nevada County for that thing. And then Captain Sam Brown comes forward. He said, yeah, I would say that we've actually had divers, not necessarily in Prosser,
bingo,
but in a lot of bodies of water up until even the days that holy crap!
Wow.
Yes.
They didn't even have divers where she
No.
was last seen?
No, which makes sense why they didn't see Kylie's car, because they weren't even in there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
throws a big kaboom into a lot of things. I'm sorry,
So
but
now
yeah.
we have so now they didn't really fumble the ball where they were actually over the car
No,
and just missed it. They just
Nope.
didn't even look for it.
they weren't even in there.
My mind just keeps getting blown every freaking time I touch this case. Blown. Mind
Right.
blown.
Me
Yeah.
too.
How many people knew that they did not? I mean, we have been under the impression that these law enforcement agencies searched Prosser. How many people believe that these law enforcement agencies searched Prosser?
I don't
Mhm.
believe it.
Not one.
I don't anymore.
Right.
So Heidi, Terry, give me just a second. Good morning, Heidi. It's nice
Good
to see
morning.
you.
Nice to see you too.
Like,
I just
am I just,
this is crazy.
okay, so I'm not. I don't feel like that myself. I feel like I'm about to have one of those like crazy.
Right.
Give me a straight jacket.
Exactly.
Mhm.
But I believe Sammy's involved 100%. I mean, when she's telling everybody to leave the kids and telling the adults to leave, I mean, that's a red flag right there, in my opinion.
Yes.
So,
And
and
they told Adventures with Purpose that they had cleared that lake. Remember, Adventures with Purpose
Yep.
said specifically stated, we're going to go to other lakes because we've been assured that it's good. We're still going to search here.
Mhm.
right.
They even started that out. We're still going to search here, but we're going to go to other bodies of water. And one of the first bodies of water, they went over to Donner.
Yep.
Right. And why would law enforcement tell AWP, oh, we searched Pross, you don't need to go there? You know, I mean,
Mhm.
that doesn't even make sense to me. I mean, that's the first place I would go after they told me that.
It surely says this for those folks
Yep.
that are here. Let me just put this up here. So, oops, oops, wrong way. Let me try it again. Put this up here for you folks. Let's see if we can make it big. Okay. There it is, right there at the top. Can you? Oh, we're gonna have to make it just a little bit smaller. To fit.
Oh, okay. I can see it really good now.
Mhm.
There we
I'm
go.
blind as a bat.
So at 12:27, Captain Sam Brown comes in and says, yeah. So the actual question from the reporter is at the 12:13 mark here.
Yep.
Okay, and it says, before Adventures with Purpose went out there this weekend, when was the last time that we had swimmers or divers from you or any of these 16 agencies out there searching that area? Josh Eller comes on and says, I'd defer back to Nevada County for that question. Then Sam Brown comes up. So you guys can be watching this as I'm talking. And then you see Sam Brown come to the lectern, and he starts saying, yeah, I would say that we've actually had dive teams, not necessarily in Prosser,
Yeah.
but in lots of bodies of water up until even the days that they were there. There were many ponds that were followed up on the cold stream, as well as other bodies of water. What law enforcement agency doesn't look at the closest body of water?
That's what I'm
the
saying.
last location of the person.
That's what I'm saying. That's crazy.
Yep. Mic drop. Boom.
Yeah. Boom.
And here we are. This happened on a month ago, literally a month and 1 day ago.
Yep.
And we're just now, at least for Bullhorn Betty, is just now trying to stick her brain back in her head because it just flew out.
Mhm. I think a lot of that is because common sense would common sense to us would say, okay, let's check this area first, but maybe not to them.
Yeah. I have a
So-
question about the,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nope, go ahead.
About the toxicology report. Now, don't the parents have to have permit or
Many
tell
people
the
keep saying that. I looked up the laws in California. I think you're going back to whether they can hold stuff back or not.
Yeah.
I looked at it, and I can't see where they're going to be able to, because a coroner is not a medical doctor. Okay. And that's
Right.
where people's misconceptions come in, first and foremost. That's not a medical doctor that Kiely Rodni is seeking out. Now she's underage. What does that
Right.
affect?
Yeah.
Okay. So the way I'm looking at this is that one of the weights is with great public concern. What great public concern does this story have to the population at large? It has a great public concern because we are all very invested. This is, leading airspace on YouTube and other stations. So I believe that that's going to have major weight on this. Are they going to redact certain things that are exempt from this report due to her age and things like that? Absolutely. They will be redacting that information, but I don't see how they could ever keep this out of the public's eye,
Okay.
especially if this is going to court, because this paperwork is going to be part of that court case.
Exactly.
It's going to
Yeah.
be part of public record. They're not going to be. I played the whole tape through to find out where does this lead. And
Oh, okay.
I don't see how they're going to be able to keep this out of the public's hand.
Okay. Well, thanks for having me. I'll let some more people up. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you, Heidi. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
So even though we did go a little off topic, I mean, this is definitely worth the off topic.
This is my aha moment. My aha moment.
But who, and then we're sitting here saying, this law enforcement agency has fumbled and fumbled and fumbled. And then we find this out, and this is like a huge fumble.
Yes.
And then you have the fact that Adventures with Purpose found the car in 30 minutes. And
Yep.
then we have the whole dumping of evidence, breaking the windows, not wearing latex gloves to touch steering wheels when you're
Yep.
dealing with an investigation of a 16-year-old girl sunk to the bottom of the lake in that back hatch of your car. You don't know if this is a crime scene or if this is an accident, and you didn't even do the due diligence necessary to preserve whatever evidence that can determine that is.
Yeah. No, I think they were so shocked that Kiely was in Prosser that they had to scramble their little butts off to do that. I think that's why they pushed Adventures with Purpose out, because it, even like Jared, he said, I believe she's been in there since day one. And Jared, I think it was Jared too, that even said that, he says, unless we've searched a lake, it hasn't been searched.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they all say that. And that's their motto.
I think he knew. I think they knew the cops did not search Prosser without coming
they
up.
didn't, because even in their very first video, they go through it. They say, we've been assured that this has been thoroughly searched. We're still going to come back here and search, but that just means we're just going to move on to the other bodies of water first.
Right.
So,
and the thing is too, within that press conference too, they said that they had some map out that volunteers can come out and sign up and search and stuff.
I got that on my phone and forgot I downloaded it.
Yeah. So you had volunteers searching the area she went missing at, and the cops are going to go however far away to look in other areas. I mean.
Right. But
and that poor girl, I mean, I'm sorry, I could just cry. That poor girl laid in that water the whole time.
Because
so now
because of the mishaps of law enforcement not doing, and this is what I was saying with Brian Laundrie. If people were following me since Brian Laundrie, one of the problems I had with that whole thing is we knew that the Mustang was in that parking lot. We knew that was his last known spot. We knew that he parked that there. We knew that he took off on foot. Why would you take your search party and move it 45 minutes away?
Right.
And one of the reasons why is because they found the other fugitive out there that was running. And I think they assumed that was Brian. Why didn't you just relocate portion of your search team over to that side and move in from the Myakkahatchee Creek and then just kind of corral it in from both sides? And they didn't do that. It was logistical and strategical errors.
And by the time they could, it was flooded.
Too late.
And it was flooded, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was no. The whole nonsense was bullshit. That whole flooding up to the chest. I was out there every single day. I didn't encounter on the walk paths. Remember, Brian didn't swim out there.
Right.
Okay? He walked out there.
True.
So, what the nonsense that they were saying, the water, in the canal, you have water up to your chest. Over in the reservoir, 45 minutes away, you have a swamp. But where he was found, and these are in the ruts, you had maybe ankle high water. That was it. We walked over there. We got our feet wet. We got our shoes wet. But we didn't swim out there. We didn't encounter any chest high water. We were out
Right.
there every single day.
That I'm sorry. It blows my mind that I don't understand why law enforcement, at least these two areas now, are completely incompetent. I don't get it.
Yeah. And Lindsay, I've never struggled with Myakkahatchee Creek Environmental Park because my family's from Myakka. We're from about the Myakkahatchee. Now I remember JLR when he first started, he called it Myakkahatchee. Remember that, guys? You guys remember that? And I was always in the background. It's Myakkahatchee. And it's like Myakkahatchee Park. Like it's not Myakkahatchee.
Yep. Well, hey Betty, I'll step down. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Well, thank you. Oh, but before you leave,
Yes.
What is your main thing with Sami? What is the one thing that you just can't get your mind off of when it comes to Sami Smith?
Her lack of sympathy, her lack of remorse, or her lack of any kind of emotions whatsoever.
Good point.
There are none there. There are no emotions. You see no tears. And the giggles, they could be nervous giggles, because believe me, I do it a lot.
You guys just seen me earlier.
Yeah. Right? But no, if my so-called best friend was missing,
right.
I mean, yeah, there's just lack of anything there.
That's just insane to me. It just,
Mhm.
I don't know how to explain it. It truly is just insane to me.
Yeah.
But I think for me, it's a combination of, as many are. It's a combination of several different things, and it's one is I'm just pissed off at her.
Yep. Right.
To be honest with you, let's be honest, right?
Yep.
I'm pissed off at her. Like your story was garbage. It was BS when we first heard it. Like, you left your friend, according to you. Now we find out she may never have left her friends because they really weren't real friends, and she was never supposed to leave with her. So why? And then we're finding out from Jane Doe 1 and 2. These are two people that don't know each other.
Right.
Jane Doe 1 and Jane Doe 2 don't know each other. They may see each other's faces, but they don't know each other. And they're coming off with the same story about how Kiely and Sami were not seen together at the party. But according to Sami's story, they were in lockstep the whole entire night.
Yep.
Drinking after each other, charging phones, being by his sides, doing this, doing that.
Peeing in the woods.
It's a lie.
Right. Yeah,
That's
nothing about what she said made any sense whatsoever, and the lack of emotion from her as well. It's just her whole persona. It's everything about Sami.
I agree. Well, thank you so much, Terry, for being on. I just wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Absolutely. Keep digging on that no prosser.
Yeah. Oh no, believe me, I'm digging.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. Hey Paula, how you doing, babe?
Good.
What do you think about this nonsense? I mean, it's in black and white now. There's no disputing it.
Yeah. That's like a real wow. Because I never noticed that before, and I sat there and I've watched the videos over and over again. My problem with Sami is her body language. The lack of eye contact. She'll have eye contact until she's asked a question, and then she's like up, like almost like Joe Biden reading a teleprompter. She just stares up there, and then it's like, okay, I got to remember this part. Okay, I said that part. Now let me say this part.
What got me is the whole, she's the light in everyone's life. Like from an 18-year-old girl, that was so out of character for the question asked for me. That was,
yeah. I think she's a narcissist. She's believing her own lies at this point, and it's just
insane. It's insane. But that's what did it for me. It was like, at first I was giving these kids passes. I'm giving them a hell of a benefit of the doubt. And I kind of, there was a piece of me that felt like I was going to eat it. that I knew I was going to eat it, but it just, So here, what percentage of the 20,000 man hours were focused on water at all versus on the abduction search everywhere else? Great question, Hunter. I'm writing that question down because that sounds like a record request for me to be requesting. So give me just 2 shakes. I see you back there, my friend Cher, my sister from another mister, is in the house. What's
Good morning.
up? Good morning.
I have to text you a picture quick.
Okay.
Oh.
I need to screenshot this because it's going to take me too long to write it down. Screenshot. We love computers. Let me screenshot this question so I have it in my. You have been saved.
Okay. I sent you a picture to kind of go along with what I'm saying, but you know I'm kind of on someone's butt right now.
Yeah.
And that person did an exclusive interview with Sami. And we've caught some things in there, but like you were saying, when she says that such a generic, she was the light of my life. I'm like, that's like, it's so generic. That's not what you say about your bestie. Like, I'd have a million things to say if one of my close friends.
You know what? I was asked one time, true story. I was asked one time from, why does this thing do that? I don't know what is going on with this thing. I'm trying to get to your thing, but my phone is acting up. So let me just click this off. But one time I had a friend that passed away. And one of the questions was, what did what was your fondest memory of this friend? This is my 20, I was thinking maybe 29 or something like that. And of course they bring you the microphone around, what was your fondest memory? And, what was the story? And it's like, I couldn't tell you a story because I fear going to jail, as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But, those are the types of things you kind of expect, like it was like, I can't tell you guys any story. It's like, that's a felony. No,
especially in their age group, you'd think they'd have a lot of stories.
You don't say something like, oh, he was the light in so many people's lives. What?
Mm-hmm. That is equal to Dawn saying she liked to twirl. Like that's what I hear. I'm like, it's so generic and just blah. It's annoying. But the picture I sent you is what they pull up on the interview that Sami did with dude. And she says and on the picture I have closed captions on too. They talk about on August 11th, if I'm not mistaken, that's about 10 days before Kiely was even found.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And why are they talking about where Kiely was located in that interview? Because she wasn't located yet. So why does the words where Kiely was located come out of Sami's mouth when she wasn't located yet? They didn't even know what happened to her yet on August 11th.
There's some suspicious stuff out of Sami's mouth because if you remember, when they did find her, all the news outlets said Donner Lake. All the news outlets were running with Donner Lake, not Prosser Lake. Yep. It wasn't until, remember, it was like, I think, 45 minutes after the finding that we finally realized it was truly at Prosser. But all the stuff coming out was Donner. And then she comes out and says, no, that's false. They didn't find her. And I think she really believed that everybody was at Donner Lake, but it still goes into the fact that she knew where she was.
Mm-hmm. And she also mentions the phone. How do you not know your best friend's phone?
That she knew where she was.
Yeah.
So what did it for you, Cher? I mean, you're more into the whole, like, you are receipts, you know me. I'm lazy. I don't do all that stuff. You do. That's why we have people like you. We love people like you.
You're too busy running around being boots on the ground to do that. So.
Right. And we're going out there. We're going out there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. It's just a matter of getting the dates and getting the team. Olivia and I, we've got our dates. We're just trying to get JLR on board. And if he gets on board, that would be great. But if not, Olivia and I have agreed we're going out there ourselves.
Awesome. Well, I'll watch you.
So, but what did it for you? I mean, there had to have been at least one thing for you that just pushed you over the fence and said, I'm done. Sami stinks to high heaven.
Oh, honestly, the first thing is I think something that's built in all of us. I want to say 99%, honestly, of us women have been through something scary, something inappropriate or something that we felt maybe was inappropriate. You know what I'm saying, ladies? Creepy in that. I cannot relate to right away for me was the party was scary. It started getting scary. There was weird men there trying to get us to do drugs. The first thing that stood out to me, she right away, it's like she brought attention to the drinks. Everything Kiely drank, I drank. We were drinking from the same drinks. We drank the same thing. And I'm like, oh, they roofied her. Like, why is she making a statement about I drink everything Kiely drinks? So it was almost like I felt like that was kind of trying to cover something up, but also just the built-in girl code I think most common women or young girls have. I've been to some parties, okay? Like I was born in 83, so I
don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I wasn't there.
I used to get down, right? Yeah. So I'm like, I can't relate, and I don't think you can either, of ever leaving a friend behind. We went to the bathrooms together. Like we watched each other's drinks. We did not leave each other when we were in situations like that. I put myself in risky situations before to not leave friends behind. So
Absolutely.
I can't relate with, well, it got scary and there's men trying to get us to do drugs and I just left her to sleep there. I thought she was going to sleep there at the campground. That doesn't make sense.
What did you think about the whole, they said that first, when they first showed up, remember that? When we first showed up, they were trying to get us to do bong rips. Like,
yeah, and then I find weed stuff in the car.
It was so scary. And it was so scary that I asked if I could stay longer because my ride was leaving and I wasn't ready to go yet. That's how scary.
Yep. Yeah, that too. Everything she says she contradicts herself in everything she says.
Yeah.
Cher, I got a question for you because I watch you too.
It's nice to see you on here.
Oh, there goes my phone again. Hang on.
What'd you say, Paula?
My phone was. I got a question for Cher because I watch her too. Or Betty, maybe you guys know. Does anybody know when Creepy Guy was in Truckee?
Yeah,
he was out
deleted his check-ins. He deleted his check-ins on his Facebook, so it no longer says he was checked in Truckee or anywhere at any date. But it was on August. I want to say it was. I think there was two. For some reason, August 6th is ringing out to me, and August 11th, the day that Creeper did interview with Sami, he was in Truckee. He was checked into Truckee. So
okay,
and in that interview, he says, I've been where you're at a lot. He spends the winters there. He told Sami, like, I know how it is there. I've been in your area quite a bit before. So yeah, he literally even admitted that he goes to Truckee all the time.
Yep. Now
that's
to throw
creepy,
another,
that's very creepy.
Did you know Sami before this?
Yeah. Oh,
to throw
for sure. So I just started. I woke up. It's early here in Saskatchewan, but I was going through. He did like a 6-hour live overnight, and I was going through it, of course. And yeah, he was like, I could probably get Sami on. I'm the only one Sami will come on the panel with, and I know that it's just a weird vibe. Like they definitely know each other. Like, or why is he so confident in saying like I could get Sami back on again? I have the power in doing that. I'm the only one she'll interview with. Like, why is he saying that?
And now that I know this, because this is I don't watch him. I watch him, and I actually spoke to him once a while ago when we were covering the double homicide in Moab, Utah. He was on the phone with him, and we were getting some information from him, and I thought, some of the stuff that he had provided us was a little too far-fetched. So I even looked at Olivia and said, I really don't put a lot of weight in anything he says, honestly. And so I kind of disregarded it. And then, I haven't heard from him or seen him until now. And then it's this, and it's like, now I'm finding out that he's hung around Truckee. He's been in Truckee. He's, did he know Sami or her family prior to this? Was he called in to help clean up, kind of like people are believing Xana May is doing? I mean,
Oh man,
this is
I
kind
don't
of
think
just
that's what
bringing a whole snowball of stuff.
I
think
think
about it.
much deeper than that with that guy though. I think like I said, there's one thing that will make me get off his butt. I'm not gonna say what that is, but it has to be someone pretty high up that clears that man for me to stop doing what I'm doing. Because if you can imagine something even worse than the Wells, I think we're dealing with something very similar, just as dark. And no mistake that I mean, I've got 5 girls tied to him where he's inserted himself, or it's literally his next door neighbor. All kinds
Maybe
of
in the
kids,
chat. I'm
14,
curious.
17, 16.
Wow.
Why did he just
think
tell
about
one
it.
pregnant girl to name the one case he did years ago, which he's deleted everything of, and I'm in contact with, says he invited everyone to go live with him and his wife. Like he was hitting on all of the girls while reporting their loved one being missing. He was trying to get them to live with him and just like a bunch of weird shit. And then the other day he tells a pregnant girl who's struggling on his panel, he says, if you have a girl, you should name it Angel. That's a really good name. If not the first name, the middle name. That's the name of the missing girl that I have. One of the missing girls I have tied to him. That's the one the family, like, he inserted himself. And somehow, just like Sami, he knew the young girl who was friends with her and inserted himself was the only one to cover her. And now it's all gone and deleted. Somehow, and he's a trucker, the missing flyers for her go where her car was found abandoned, and there's her missing flyers being burnt in pits in the woods.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is
Well, from the party at Truckee, remember how a lot of people were saying these creepy guys showed up late?
Yeah.
Maybe Creeper was one of them.
Yeah, I don't believe that in a wholeheartedly. So hold on just one second. Let me get to Petunia. Petunia, let me unblock or there we go. Hi, how are you? What do you want to add?
I have this small theory just to throw it out there, to play devil's advocate, to throw something else in the mix. I'm a 91 baby, so I remember partying. I didn't do it so much in high school, but I did lie to my parents about everything that I did. I was a sneaky kid because my parents were strict. All of Sami's behavior is very she obviously knows things, and she chooses to omit a lot of things that it seems so intentional, either to cover her own ass, because I agree with Cher up there in the corner. She feels guilty. She feels responsible, whether or not she played any direct role or not. She very clearly feels responsible.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't a good friend. Obviously, nobody else has recollection of her being a friend. There's no evidence of her being a true friend. She's not on social together. I think their only connection may have been through a group of boys that was probably providing them with their everything, or at least like probably weed, just knowing their age group. That's probably how they met. They were party friends very clearly. I have this theory in my mind of how these things happen. It's a large party. There was probably a small group, 2 or 3 boys, thought they were being cool, probably older boys, college age boys even, who were going around slipping something in random girls' drinks, hoping to weed them out. And as we know, you don't, as a girl, as a female, even at my age, if I didn't have kids and I still partied, I would never go out alone. Like, that's just not the world that we live in. And even if she had planned, I don't like the theory that her mom might have provided the alcohol, though I know her mother is clearly the type of mom who was okay with these activities. She trusted her daughter, and she said as much. We knew that from the beginning. That this was out of character for Kiely to like not call and say she wasn't coming home. And I just don't see her immediately like giving her alcohol.
Do you think?
Especially because
Do you
it's like
think
a
that
transfer.
she texted her mom? Do you think that was her that texted her
I
mom?
don't think that was her. I don't think that was her. I think Kiely passed out. I think Kiely got slipped something. I think Kiely passed out. Or she started to feel woozy and went to the back of her car herself. I think she sat down, she got sleepy, she passed out, and Sami wanted to go home. Kiely clearly was not going to be her ride anymore because she was passed out. And Sami abandoned her because they weren't real friends. They weren't really friends. They were only party friends. And Sami texted Kiely's mom saying, I'll be home in about 35 minutes or whatever it was, 45, giving her more time to sleep it off.
Yeah.
And I think whoever might have slipped her the drugs, or we can go on the other conspiracy theory, and maybe one of these other people that happened to have video footage from a nearby party, maybe someone from that party came across her. Maybe a trucker guy came across her, you know, and clearly someone did something to her that they didn't want anyone to know about, and I think just pushed the car into the lake. Down the hill, whatever it was, the path down, you know, I think we went through the whole car thing, and I think there's many, like, yeah, I think the car easily could have been pushed down into the lake, and I don't think it was an accident, but I don't think that her friends necessarily did this to her. I think her friends are partly responsible for being shitty friends.
Yeah.
For not being real friends. And Kiely was a younger girl in the group and clearly smarter and more mature, hanging out with older kids, and this is what happens. They were shitty people who didn't have, not necessarily bad intentions. Sami didn't have bad intentions, but she sure as hell didn't have good intentions. She didn't give a shit about Kiely, and that's clear.
Yeah.
Even everything down to that stupid t-shirt. Every time I see that picture of her and that stupid t-shirt that she wrote on, that shows her carelessness. A 19-year-old girl, that's not how you write. You don't give a shit if anyone reads that shirt. You're not trying to find your friend.
Yeah. All right, let me get to Clayton. Yeah,
But
let me get to Clayton, and then I'm going to get to Tanya. So Clayton, how you doing, my friend? Oh, there you go. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So what did it for you with Sami?
Well, I was on Zav's stream the other night, and I said that Sami is my number one suspect. And there's three things that lead me to that. Number one, we'll start going, as far as the timeline goes. The number one thing that she did was the peer-to-peer meeting. That to me is a huge red flag. It seems like to me she's trying to filter information through herself before it gets to anybody else, so that she can kind of either gauge what's out there or limit what law enforcement's going to be able to get their hands on. So that was the number one red flag. Number two for me was I just lost what I was thinking.
It happens to me often, if you haven't noticed.
Yeah. So number two with me was the interview with Tony. She kept referring to Kiely in the past tense in that interview. She did that several times.
Did you catch, Clayton? Sorry to interrupt, but did you catch it kind of sounded like Sami was saying they left the party and came back to the party too? And I'm like, well, if they were parked right there, that's still, to me, like they're still at the party. So did they leave the party altogether at some point? I don't know. Re-listen to it. It sounds like they left the party for a little bit.
Okay, so we'll go over. He got a call, so we're going to go over to Tanya. So Tanya, how you doing, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing well. I've always suspected Sami at the beginning, but mostly just because she double speaks. Everything that comes out of her mouth is double speak, And the biggest thing is, in every interview, she never takes any responsibility, but yet she is very quick to paint Kiely in this negative light. Kiely was drunk, therefore I'm the good girl. I'm not going to drive. I'm not going to ride home with somebody that's been drinking. You know, Kiely, you know, she's a smart girl. She knows how to find her way home. Not that, hey, I'm not a friend and I'm going to leave this drunk girl at this party by herself, vulnerable. Kiely, who's young, she's underage, you know, and Sami is 18, so she's legally an adult. She has no kind of natural instinct to try to watch out and take care of this younger, naive young girl at this party with all these older people. And to me, that tells me more about her character, about her actions, period. It doesn't matter what she says out of her mouth. Her actions already tell me this is somebody that can't be trusted. She's, you know, just from the fact of leaving her there, regardless. She even said out of her own mouth, she didn't know if Kiely had a ride. She's a smart girl. She'll figure it out. So, no, I always thought she was kind of sketchy to start with.
Yeah.
But there was this white board at that teen to teen meeting. It was a white dry erase board. And on it, they had listed some items that they were looking for. And one of them that really stuck out to me was Kiely's keychain. Purple. Why are they looking for her keychain? Her keys, you know, why are they looking for that? You know, why was that something? And then after the roadside assistant story, I kept wondering at the beginning, why are they looking for this gray hoodie instead of the pink and white hoodie or the black tank top? What story led the police to say, hey, have you seen this gray hoodie? Why is it even in the news in the first place? You know, where did that clue come from? Why are they looking for or asking about her necklaces? You know, have they been, did they find them? Are they missing? You know what? So there's still a lot of questions about, especially the beginning of this whole investigation when Kiely was missing and they were looking for her. I've been going back and looking at the news reports and wondering, what was it? What was their foundation to ask about these specific things? You know, why were they looking for these specific things? Because they must have either gotten, you know, tip lines or something led them there. So the gray hoodie, I'm thinking that's them investigating this roadside assistance thing, saying, you know, hey, they seen somebody in a gray hoodie. You know, I don't know. That's my thing. We're missing the basis to these stories. So that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, I agree. There's definitely a lot of uneasy things going on here. I think the most uneasy thing was the whole, you know, Plunder brought it up, the whole grabbing of the mic, taking over the that press conference, you know, getting on the mic before she didn't go to the visitor mic. Apparently there was 2 mics set up there, one for people to ask questions and one for the press conference. And she took the press conference mic over to tell everybody, you know, we want this peer, but law enforcement should have came to the plate and said, you know, we don't want these peer-to-peer meetings to be confidential or anything like that. These need to be coming through us and only us. And that wasn't the case. That was, you know, they should have addressed it, and instead of letting people know it was okay to do that, in my opinion.
Right. And then that whole thing about not searching Prosser or not having them search, I heard that a few days ago, and that really got my brain in there, like, you know, oh my God, this just even sounds more and more so much like a cover-up. They like are specifically trying to lead everybody else away from the one part that they would have found this girl like right away if she was in there.
That's a valid point, especially now that we're finding out from this message here that it appears they went on the record to say that they didn't even search the lake she was last seen at.
Right. Why?
You know, that's what's got me very confused right now.
Well, I can understand that if it was like, just say the one police department, maybe they were inept. Maybe they didn't, you know, they've never searched and stuff. But when the fact you've got the FBI and 5 other agencies in there, and you're trying to tell me out of all of those agencies, nobody was looking at the big X mark, you know, of this is the first place you should start looking. No, there is something definitely fishy about the whole thing. And
Then
does
you've got
anybody,
the evidence that the bottom of the lake they didn't collect? Like, what is
right?
going on here? We have 17 elite agencies working this case, and this is the best we're getting.
Right. No, and then does anybody know anything about Kylie's brother? Because Kylie has used her brother's ID to do some things. She's used his like date of birth and stuff to get fake IDs and different things like that. I mean, Sammy's brother. I'm sorry, not Kylie's. So, was he at the party? Because I have a feeling Sammy's a groomer. Sammy's that young, pretty girl that, especially local drug pushers, they use to start, to put together parties or to bring girls into those types of things. Is her brother involved? Because what about the girl that died just a few weeks prior? There's a guy right now sitting in jail accused, being charged with murder because he fed a 15-year-old some fentanyl and she died of an overdose.
Mm-hmm.
And that locally, just not far from where they are. And then there's another death that happened after Kylie. Are they all part of this whole, kind of like a drug ring? It doesn't have to be like your down dirty type of drug ring. Sometimes drug rings are highly sophisticated, they're
and actually, and they're ran by, and some of these rings are ran by very highly sophisticated young people.
Absolutely.
Smart young people.
Absolutely. And this is young people with money. Of course, it's going to be there. And of course, everybody wants to pretend that doesn't exist or that exists in everybody else's town. But it really is in every town, everywhere. And I have a feeling that's got a big part of it. And that's part of the big cover up. So I'd be following money. Is where I'd be.
People need to understand that these young children have more than many of us have ever dreamed of. When you're talking to a Jane Doe #1 and how she won't drink in the United States, has no problem drinking in Spain. I've never been to Spain. I just turned 43 years old. This girl is underage and has had a glass of wine in Spain. So just to put that in perspective for the people out there, they live a different lifestyle and have a whole different type of financial background than many of us do.
Right. Now I have a feeling that it's something like that, and it's a cover up, but the cover up is coming from it's got to be some powerful people, and I'm sorry, but I'm going back to what Upchurch started in the first place. I'm going back to Ronnie and his supposedly cousins, my friend. I'm asking for my friend cousins.
What do we think about a Ronnie Jones being arrested in and around the time of all people? A Ronnie Jones is on the Placer County's arrest record as being arrested, and he's about the same age frame and the same ethnicity as this Ronnie Jones that was on ECMO. And I'm waiting. I'm still waiting for the mugshot to compare.
Yeah. No, so I think he's still connected, he could be part of the ring that was there. I believe he was there though. The way he was talking about that party, I believe he was at that party.
He knew details.
Yeah, he may not have been, who's to say, directly involved with Kylie directly, but it doesn't mean he's not the one who brought the drugs there that ended up killing her in the first. So I think you've got this part over here trying to cover their tracks because they were doing their drugs, selling their drugs, and they're like, oh shit, this girl died, now we got to cover our butts, so we're not connected. And then you've got these,
because our friend Nate over here is already in jail for a 15-year-old. We don't want to be like Nate.
Right. Exactly. Y'all saw what happened to Nate. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, this happened, let's get rid of this, let's hide this, because I'm not going to jail like Nate. Oh yeah, I'm thinking it's like sometimes it's keep it simple, stupid, because we want to complicate it and make it this big whole thing. But I really think it's three different simple things that just happen to happen at the same time. And unfortunately, a young girl lost her life. And she's getting thrown under the rug, under the covers, so everybody else can try to cover their butt. And that's just the way I feel like it, And I thank God for AWP, because I think if they had not came, this would have got swept under the rug. And the fact that they came, and then I feel that they put their credibility and they put their livelihood on the line because they saw that it was being swept under the rug. And they're like, I got to do what I can to try to not let this get, hidden, not let this get just, dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that's why they released the videos the way that they released it, because
YouTubers, they believed in YouTube. They believed in our ability to cut through the BS. That's why they did what they did.
Right. And just like, because I remember watching an episode with Jared, he was so distraught he didn't find something, or he was so distraught that he didn't do his best and didn't search an area well enough that he came back. He came back 3 different times to one area, and he finally found the guy that they were looking for. But he came back 3 times just because he didn't want it to, to let it go, and to make sure he did his very best in order for it to get done. And I'm sorry, that speaks of a person's character.
Yeah.
That speaks of the type of person that they are. And I have a feeling that what they're doing now, this is stuff they never expected to encounter.
No, nobody
but
expects.
They have encountered it. Yeah. And now they're trying to do what they can.
Mm-hmm.
Sure that this doesn't just get pushed up under the rug. And, and they're getting a lot of hate for it, which breaks my heart. It really does break my heart, the hate that they're getting. And they're getting a lot of hate for it and risking their livelihood in order to try to expose this. Mm-hmm. And so I'm saying more power to them. But I do believe that when finally we get some kind of answer, whether it's them coming out saying that it was an accident or something, AWP is going to step in. Okay, fine. Here's the rest of the video.
Mm-hmm.
Here, now let this YouTube community, stop.
They believe in YouTube. Just like me. I believe that if I bring something out here, they can call me a liar all day long. But, if they put a little half ounce of work into it, they can find the same information as me. That's why I refuse to show receipts. I'm not doing your work. You want to call me a liar on your terms, not mine.
Well, I think that's how you're doing something right, mm-hmm. is if you are getting opposition, because, the truth, people don't like the truth. They really don't. And when they're faced with it, then they have to own up to their consequences.
Yep.
And getting back to Sami, I think that's the one thing that really gets under my skin about her. I never hear anything out of her mouth of any responsibility she takes. It's, she did this. Mm-hmm. Kiely did this. Kiely was drinking. Kiely was not being responsible. Kiely went the wrong way. Kiely did. Oh, not me. I have no responsibility in this at all. I'm here trying to help. I'm the hero of the story. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my 2 cents.
All right, hon. Well, I'm going to get to Clayton. He had to take a call, and then I'm going to get to Merja after Clayton, just to let everybody know. So thank you, Tanya, for coming up. It's always a pleasure to see you, honey.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So I'm going to get to you, Clayton, and then Merja, because we're got to get off here. Many of you guys don't know, today is my Aunt Bullhorn's birthday, as well as Cousin Bullhorn's birthday. So I am getting out of here in a half hour. So we got time for both of you. But go ahead, Clayton. I know you were in the middle of
Yeah, I'm here at work and got a phone call. So yeah, like I was saying, there's really 3 red flags to Sami that puts her number 1 on my list, and that's number 1 is the peer-to-peer meetings. That's super suspicious. Number 2 is the interview with Tony and how she kept referring to Kiely in the past tense, and also some other things that she said in that interview was just really odd. And then number 3 is, now that we found out that Sami and Kiely were not as close as she once claimed. So that to me is a huge. I mean, why is she trying to act like they were just best friends, and now we're finding out that they wasn't as close as what she was saying? Mm-hmm. And then going off of what the last person was talking about, as far as AWP being blamed for things, I haven't heard a lot of people speak on this. Mm-hmm. But when SF Investigates came out and made these allegations against AWP about not making the phone calls and the things that they were supposed to do. And then he kept saying about how they were trying to pin this on Jagger. But if you really look at the evidence, SF Investigates is the only one that ever said Jagger's name.
Yeah.
AWP never said his name.
Well, and SF Investigates did himself a disservice because people were actually paying attention to him because he was doing great quality drone and we were getting a lot of information. He had a real good thing going. And then he got pompous, he got arrogant, and it blew up in his face. And then he goes on to some questionable creators, and he's supposed to be holding himself as a reputable PI. And then he says to this, especially about this one certain creator, that he's respectable. No, he's not. He is absolutely not respectable. He's
I know exactly who you're talking about.
in the true crime industry. That's why he's not true crime. He's a bitcher. That's all he does is complain about everybody else. You know what? I was told a long time ago, you need to get your own house in order before you worry about somebody else's.
Well, my problem with that guy is, every time I've ever turned his stream on, all he's doing is complaining about other creators making money off these cases. But all he's doing is making money, complaining about other creators making money off these cases. It's like, how do you not see the hypocrisy that we're dealing with here? I mean, it's insane. And I mean,
you know what? It's the whole adage. If you look over there, because there's nothing to see over here.
Yeah.
That's it.
And the thing with SF Investigates, I mean, me being from a law enforcement background, I know that the number one priority in an investigation like this is protecting the investigation. You want to protect as much as you can, because things start leaking out, people start going on the run, people start trying to hide things, people start trying to suppress information. And so you want to limit all that as much as you can. And to me, AWP did a great job in doing that. They put what information was needed out there to show what they did. They didn't put enough out there to name any names or to put any, people's going to speculate on what they're saying, but AWP never named a name. But then SF Investigates come behind and just blows everything out the water and starts talking about everything, blabbing about what CWP's telling him, what the FBI's telling him. It's like, what kind of investigator are you?
Yeah, and does anybody find it odd? One of, we've set up a new, thank goodness to like Miss Robin and Anissa and the people that have helped out with the new Facebook page for Bullhorn Betty, as well as the Bullhorn Betty group. If you guys have not signed up, please sign up. But one of the first things that we got from that group was, has anybody noticed or looked that it seems awfully funny that Check It TV and SF Investigates, has anybody noticed the similarities in facial features and things of that nature? Does that seem odd to anybody? Does it look like they could be family?
Well, there's definitely something there, because I don't know if you've seen the video or not, but there's a video of SF Investigates out there on the ground driving around, and he runs into Check It TV, and this is before Kiely's even found. This is when they're still looking for her in the vehicle. But he claims that he don't know who Check It TV is, and he didn't hear about him until the laptop and stuff was discovered. So which one is it? I mean, you're on video talking to him, and it's super odd, because on the video, when they meet in the road, Check It TV says, "Hey, can I ask you a question?" SF says, "Yeah, go ahead." He says, Have you heard everything about this whole Kiely situation?" And SF cuts the video up. So what are you hiding there?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're out there just being helpful, why not leave that part in the video where you're giving somebody information?
And these were people that are trying to say, other creators that have been established and around here doing this for a while, or doing this for clicks and views. And I can tell you that I'm going to get the clicks and views pretty much just about any case that I run with. So it's not a specific case. It's not a specific person. It's what I do. But they specifically, especially those two, specifically went to that area to build their reputation off Kiely. Both of them.
The same thing with them.
They're sitting there condemning the people that have been established and been doing this for a while. They actually nobody knew who they were, and they have tried to build their reputation specifically off the back of this young, beautiful, talented girl that lost her life. So to me, before you start pointing fingers at the YouTubers, maybe you need to worry about your own actions.
Yeah, and I'm not convinced that any of these YouTubers have anything to do with anything other than putting their nose in places that don't belong.
I haven't seen anything that's. I mean, there are some questionable things, especially with anime and this whole government connection. That's a little uncomfortable for me. I have to be honest with you. But what does that mean? I'm unsure. I haven't put enough into it to really dig and find out. I'm kind of,
Yeah.
I want to stay focused on Kiely, not the noise that's going on, because I think really truly that's why people come here, is because I'm trying to stay away from all the noise. There's enough channels talking about the noise, I just want to stay focused on Kiely. I want to stay focused on the people involved in this. I want to find out what truly happened to this girl, because I do feel uncomfortable that her mom is unable, whether it's she just can't handle it or not, but unable to fight for her daughter at this point.
Yeah.
And that's okay, and she doesn't have to fight for her daughter. There's many of us out here that are fighting for her. She can take a break and try to get some, try to get herself together. But I just disagree wholeheartely that you just embrace these children without knowing. You could be hugging a person that did something terrible to your daughter, and I just don't know, me personally, as a stepmom, as a grandma, if I could live with myself hugging somebody's neck that could have potentially harmed my child or my grandchild. It just, I can't do it. I can't do it. I want to know.
I agree, and it's odd that you start going down these holes in this case, and somehow it always leads back to the same players. And there's a reason for that. Yeah. There's a reason that intertwined in this whole case is the same people, and so to me that's where the investigation needs to be at. And but I'll let you get off and take
all right. Well, it's nice to speak to you, Clayton. Come back again.
And happy birthday to Aunt and Cousin Bullhorn.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so just let me get caught up and then I'll bring you on, Merja, if I'm saying your name correctly. So Rachel says Sammy's first car interview, she slipped up and said she called as she was the only one that knew what was going on. So yeah, we had a lot of slips up front that many people caught. I wasn't that invested in those slips yet. That was when I was still team accident. I'm definitely by every stretch of the imagination, team foul play. I truly believe team foul play. Sammy's first interview says cops searched lake. So even her, she was not being really forthcoming. Merja, am I saying your name properly, dear?
Yes, in English way, yes, Merja is fine.
Okay. Hi, how are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Sweden.
Oh, Sweden. Thank you. Thank you for being part of the show.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me.
So what do you think about all of this going on?
I think that honestly, there's no way. I've been thinking about the route, like as you said, like if the way was blocked and she went the other way, and some way she went into the water or something. Okay. But then people would have seen it. Or if someone done something to her, I don't know. And then they put her in the hatch and then like put her into the water. I don't know.
Yeah, and then we have this whole seatbelt thing that's sticking out of the back. It's
exactly
just insane.
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking about. Like that's so weird. Because that shouldn't be like sticking out. I'm thinking also that oh Jesus, I can't think. I don't think it's an accident. I don't think so. Something happened that is maybe, as the PI said, oh, we didn't mean to, something like that, or it is actually foul play.
Yeah, and I'd like to know. And the law enforcement told News Nation they were going to come out this week with an update, and we, here it is Friday, we have no update from them. I'm wondering if they're going to say something next week. I'm curious to get an update. I think it is of great public concern that they need to step up to the plate and calm us a little bit, because there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense, and from our account looks like they made some major crucial errors in this case, and I just think that they owe us a duty to explain this to us.
Exactly. I agree with you. Absolutely. They need to give us some information or something before 1st of November,
Mhm.
please. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that would be the best thing to do.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, thank you, Merja. I'm going to get to the last person, T. Watts, and I appreciate you coming on. Please come back. We'll go a little longer tomorrow. Today, I was planning on doing a longer live, but then got the call, and we're meeting
No,
for
it's
lunch.
okay.
So I'm out of time constraint today.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so
You're
much.
great. You're fantastic.
I appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye. All right, T. Watts, it's nice to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. I love your show, by the way.
Thank you.
I just had a question because I'm not hearing a lot about it, and I'm wondering of the validity of it. So a while back, like when this all probably about the first week of them finding Kiely. So apparently, according to the police, you know how the police have like their activity reports. So there was an activity report of a man who had called in stating that he seen a young girl that was naked being chased by a silver SUV. No one's talking about it. It's never been brought up since then. And I'm just curious on, has anyone else dove down into that to check and see the validity and why at least hasn't even been spoken of from the police?
Yeah, I don't know why it hasn't been spoken of from law enforcement because it has made its rounds on YouTube. I've even heard about it myself. The reason why I didn't bring it up is because by the time I heard about it, I had already been told by my source that it had been excluded as Kiely, that it was much further away from the party than expected, and that it was not Kiely. Apparently, it was confirmed. Now, I didn't hear law enforcement confirm it. Again, this is just what we can perceive as rumors, just like we can perceive as rumors the whole story in and of itself. So it's it really is one of those things. I heard about it, and I also heard about that's why they found that black tank top so far away, and they said that tank top wasn't hers. I got a picture of it, and I can tell you that the straps on that tank top were much wider than what the bodysuit she was wearing.
It didn't look like the spaghetti straps at all.
No.
It looked like a tank top.
Yeah,
I was just wondering because I've not heard anyone, so that's kind of why I wanted to check and see if I was the only one that didn't notice. I've just not, and I was like, the validity.
It has made its rounds on YouTube, but like I said, by the time I heard of the information and started looking into it, I was already hearing that it was not her. Nobody ever said the event didn't happen. So it does sound like there is some validity that this particular event did actually take place. But the information that I received is it didn't have anything to do with the case.
Okay, that was
again,
something
it could be wrong. It could be wrong. It could be very relevant. We don't know.
Right. I think there's a whole lot wrong with the law enforcement there. You don't let a child take control of an investigation, and I kind of, my own opinion, I feel like I don't feel like it was something intentionally that occurred to her. I think it was something accidental, but they knew that they were going to get in trouble because of their involvement with allowing things like that to happen around underage kids. And I think that from the moment, I personally believe that Sami, having her mother and family members being a part of law enforcement, I think they told them what happened. Me personally, I think that they knew from the jump, and they're all trying to cover it up to save their kids because they were involved in a whole lot of illegal activity, and they know that they're going to take the blunt from it because of it.
But there was only one kid that seemed like that needed to be saved that I can see, and it starts with an S. First name starts with an S. Last name starts with an S. Just saying.
You got that right. They're 100% there. All right. Well, I'm headed back to work. I just wanted to say I love your show.
Thank you for coming up. Nice to meet you. Nice to see your face. So don't be a stranger.
All right. You guys have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye. So, wow, what a great panel today. What a great discussion. We went to a lot of different things. I didn't build my case against Sami yet. I mean, we got some good information We're going to keep working on this case. We're going to sink Sami Smith's battleship because there's something here that doesn't smell right. Now, at the end of the day, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that anybody can do to change my mind that she has something, if nothing, just being a terrible friend. Okay, at the very minimum. But I don't believe that that's where it ends, because let's talk about the reality of this. Mags wasn't there. Kate wasn't there. Jagger wasn't there. There was really only one friend. I'm going to say it, just bear with me. Only one friend there that was there with her from the time that she got there to the time that that person left. Okay? One. Out of all four people that we've been talking about religiously, there's only one. And that's Sami Smith. And this same Sami Smith is the one that did teen-to-teen meetings. This is the same Sami Smith that wanted to vet all the information before it went to law enforcement. This is the same Sami Smith that was the most outspoken person about Kiely. And the same person that said she was her best friend while standing next to her best friend. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. And the more we dig in, the worse it gets, right? The more crap just comes out. And it just is what it is. And there's nothing we can do about it. So we're going to keep building this case related to Sami. But I think the one most valuable thing, oh, by the way, guys, if you have not, we got almost 1,000 people in here right now. Please hit the thumbs up button. This helps this channel grow. This helps this grab the algorithm. I've got to have above 1,000 likes to get picked up. So there's 930 people in here. If you have not already liked me, please go out there and like me. We need to start getting these up to 1,000 if possible. And I just want to say thank you for loving me and liking me and coming here for your information. But we did find out some bombshell information today that it appears that Prosser was never even searched. And there it is. There's the statement. Captain Sam Brown, 1227. Yeah, I would like to say we've actually had divers. Not necessarily in Prosser, where this child disappeared from. We didn't check there, but we checked all the other bodies of water. She couldn't have been there. Like, what? Just when you think that this can't get more insane than it already is. And many of you guys know I love law enforcement. I never ever want to. I'm very close with my sheriff here. I back the blue. I support him. I fight for him. If he needs a freaking medical facility out of this jail, I'm out at the Manatee County, Board of County Commissioner meetings fighting for our sheriff to have his medical facility out of his jail. I mean, I love law enforcement. I back the blue. I support them. But this kind of crap here would not be happening in Manatee County. Rick would not allow that to happen. Whoever the sheriff is that's running this circus should lose their job. I mean, somebody's got to be held accountable for something like this. This is a 16-year-old child, and we're entrusting you to not only investigate this case, but to investigate it properly and to do it right, and to act like you give a damn about the 16-year-old child. So those are my 2 cents. Gotta quit acting so angry. I'm pissed. If you guys are pissed, put a 1 in the chat. Please save Bullhorn Betty. I mean, I would hate for somebody to say I'm losing my crap, right? I think we're all losing our crap. Sorry. You need to be more bubbly. How can you be bubbly when everything's bumbled? Right? Yes, that's bad, Glitter. And yes, a lot of people are picking up on the whole past tense thing. It's sad, and it seems like people did know. But yeah, I think we can all agree that it is fine to be pissed off, because let's be honest, we're all pissed off here. Nothing is working out for this poor girl. We don't care about all this noise. What we care about is justice for Kiely. And at the end of the day, with all the speculating and stuff that we do in true crime, we have to go back to the facts. And the facts of the case is something doesn't smell right. And Sami is the only one that's kind of driving the boat. And not just the boat. They're steering the whole damn ship. And we're just sitting here saying, how in the world can law enforcement allow this to happen? It's just amateur hour, just pure amateur hour. So anyways, guys, I love you. I got to go to celebrate a birthday with my aunt, my mom, and my other aunt. So I will see you guys later. Have an amazing day. I told you guys I was going to come back here at 6 o'clock last night and go live, but I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. So I'm not going to give you guys a disclaimer that I'm going to be back here live. If I come back live later today, you guys get a bonus. If not, it's probably because I just need the rest. Anyways, I love each and every one of you. God bless. Go make it a great Friday. TGIF. And don't forget to be fearless, folks. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Good day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.